Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cooking with Mo and Deb. Many of you guessed it exactly right. It's carrot cake. Mo and I are making a carrot cake, and turns out we had some difficulty with our microphones, and we had a lot of great conversation, but we have no sound, so I have to voice over for you. So let me tell you about this carrot cake. It came from my Aunt Esther. It came from a cookbook that my family has done, and all of our aunts and cousins, and we all put recipes into that cookbook. And my Aunt Esther always brings this carrot cake to every single event. It's just a highly loved cake. So I wanted to share it with you because it truly is a very, very good cake. So what I'm talking about right here is making sure that you have your cake pans sprayed or dusted with flour so they won't stick. So we did spray, and I use a spray that has flour in it. If you have just an oil spray, I would use shortening and flour in your pan just to make sure it's good and ready for your cake, and it'll release when it's finished. Now I am working on the carrots. I'm shredding the carrots. It takes 3 cups of shredded carrots. You could actually buy shredded carrots if you didn't want to go to the trouble of shredding them yourself, but I wanted to do them myself, so I bought carrots. It took about 4 or 5 carrots to get up to 3 cups. While I'm doing that, Mo has got her hands on the eggs and the oil. This cake takes 4 eggs and 1 cup of oil, and that the recipe says Wesson oil, but you could use any vegetable oil, or I actually used olive oil. After you've mixed the oil and eggs together, set that aside, and now Mo is using the 2 cups of self-rising flour. She's putting that into a separate bowl. There's the self-rising flour, not all-purpose this time, it's self-rising, and then 2 cups of sugar. And she's going to whisk those together and get that blended in before she goes to the next ingredient. I finally got those carrots shredded. That was a lot of shredding to do for carrots, but it does make it taste. I mean, it's a carrot cake. You got to have a lot of great carrots, right? So now it's 2 tablespoons. I know that sounds like a lot of cinnamon. 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, but it really works. It's just so good. So into the second bowl, you've got your flour, sugar, and cinnamon. Mix those together really good, and you're going to then combine your wet ingredients. That would be that eggs and oil, and Mo's going to pour that now into her bigger bowl with the flour and sugar mixture. Going to take a spatula or a whisk and stir that up really good. And then there's just 2 more ingredients to add to this cake. There's not a lot of ingredients, but it works, I promise. It's already smelling up the kitchen. That cinnamon is so strong. It just smells up the kitchen, and when it's cooking, whoa, it's really, really smelling good. The cake mix did get a little bit thick. There's not a whole lot of liquid besides that oil. So after Mo drops in those carrots, I'm going to take over the stirring. I think her arm's getting a little bit tired. But you're going to combine those carrots. See, there we go. And get that all combined, and then you're just going to add it to your cake pans. If you had the smaller set of pans where there's 3 separate 3 pans, you could use that. That works great. Make 3 layers. I added a half a cup of pecans to the mixture. So that was the last ingredient, the carrots and the pecans. And then you're just going to divide that mixture into the 2 pans, or 3 if you're using them. We're just going to separate that into 2 pans. And now it's going to bake at 300 degrees in my oven, it baked for about 40 minutes. So you'll use a cake tester just to test it. Make sure that it's done in the middle, and it'll be ready. It's so, so good. I think you will just love it. So here you go. This is the finished product. Don't those cake layers look wonderful? Now, we made a cream cheese frosting. I'm going to leave you with the recipe. I use this frosting every single time. Butter, cream cheese, powdered sugar, and vanilla. That's the only ingredients. The only difference, well, right here I'm telling you about my cake tester and releaser. It's a Pampered Chef product, of course, but that gray end releases your cake from the pan. And if you don't have one of those in your kitchen, you need to get one. Talk to your Pampered Chef representative. You will love that product. The only difference to this cream cheese frosting is that I added pecans. Pecans goes in this recipe. Now, I actually doubled the recipe. So I think I added a cup of pecans. But when I give you the recipe, it's going to be the half. Or the regular recipe, not the double. But Mo takes a minute to ice the cake. She does it really quick. It's really easy. We were also talking about the thickness of the cake, whether you could it would hold up to do decorative things with it or not. It's a little bit thin. If you wanted to do that, you could add a little more powdered sugar to make it thicker. But for this cake, we just wanted to spread it all over the cake. And, it doesn't have to look perfect because it tastes so good, it don't matter how it looks. I promise you. If you didn't want to do cake layers and you want to do an 11 by 13 pan, you could do that. But here it is, almost finished. And there it is, finished. Carrot cake, y'all. Give it a try.